Sergei Lavrov says foreign partners tried to blackmail Moscow to secure a UN resolution allowing the use of force in Syria.
Unfortunately, we've even seen some elements of blackmail. I consider it a totally counterproductive and dangerous approach, because it is unacceptable to use the observers as a bargaining chip.
We can cross live to Peter Oliver. He's been following a conference where those words came from Sergei Lavrov. What kind of bargain is Sergei Lavrov talking about here, Peter?
Well, the observers the foreign minister spoke about just then are what Russia wants to see. They want to see an extension of the UN monitoring program on the ground in Syria. And now he's said that Russia's foreign partners have said that, yes, OK, you can have that. We'll vote that through the UN if you vote for our resolution, which has been put forward by Western countries that Russia isn't prepared to do. The reason they're not prepared to do that is they believe it could lead to some outside military intervention in Syria, a similar situation to what we saw in Libya, which is, of course, what Russia's been trying to avoid for many months now.
Pete, Western powers accuse Russia of stalling the peace process in Syria, of course, by supporting President Assad. How did Sergei Lavrov respond to that?
Well, we have to go back to comments from the US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton that were made a few weeks ago, in which she said Russia and China had blood on their hands, essentially, with regards to the Syrian conflict. And she said that there would be a price to pay. Sergei Lavrov reacting, well, quite angrily to those comments about threats coming towards Russia and China, saying that that really wasn't acceptable.
It's unacceptable to blame it all on Russia and China, and especially to resort to threats like they will pay for this, which is beyond not just diplomacy rules, but any common decency. So far, it's the Syrian people who are paying for the unwillingness of some of our foreign partners to observe the UN Security Council decisions and Geneva agreements.
Well, the foreign minister was addressing and outlining Russia's stance on Syria as a whole and responded to comments that Moscow was supporting the Assad government. Sergei Lavrov saying this simply wasn't the case. Russia wasn't supporting one particular side at all, that they were committed to the Kofi Annan peace plan, that it was only by both sides putting down their weapons that we could see peace. With regards to the Syrian people, he said it's up to them to decide the future for their country, not any kind of foreign power.
They tell us that we need to convince Assad to step down voluntarily. It is simply unrealistic. But this is not about our preferences, likes or dislikes. He will not step down, not because we back him up, but because he has the support of a significant part of the country's population.
Sergei Lavrov there outlining Russia's stance on the ongoing Syrian crisis, which continues to see people dying in the Middle Eastern country. This all comes, of course, ahead of important meetings between himself and UN peace envoy Kofi Annan later on.
All right, RT's Peter Oliver, thank you very much for that update.